let's talk about fighting fairly. So fighting fairly, especially for siblings, is something that is really important, especially in this day and age. So fighting fairly. First of all, don't do the work for your kids. Teach them how to do it themselves. So when one or two of your kids are getting into it, or maybe three or four, all at the same time, encourage them to figure out what the problem is and what the solution is. Ask them questions, good questions like, hey guys, sounds like you're really having a struggle. Where can you go to sit and talk about this? Well, I'm not going anywhere. He took my video game, or whatever the thing is that they're upset about. Time out. Get them to stop. Stop right where they are. Tell them what they are welcome to do. You are welcome to have that discussion downstairs or up in your room, but you may not have that discussion here in the middle of this room unless you can do it well, right? You want to give them parameters or boundaries around what the expectation is. Ideally, they're going to start kind of bickering, back and forth a little bit and then ultimately solving it themselves, but they may not. So you may need to model that for them and say, okay, let's give this a shot. So, let's say it's between two brothers and one took the video game and the other one's upset. You might have them literally say, it really frustrates me when you take my game without asking me. All right, well, what could you do differently in order to get a different result? Well, I guess we could maybe, share taking turns with that video game, or maybe I could take the odd days and you take the even days, whatever. They need to start learning how to negotiate those differences, and anything that even sounds remotely or reasonably sound, try and agree with it. Try to tell them to give it a shot and then have them check in. How did that go when you guys were taking turns with that that video game or whatever it might be? Well, he took it for too long. Well, do you have any solutions on how to solve that? Well, I don't know, maybe we could put a timer on. That sounds like a good idea. So again, the idea is to get them to problem solve on their own, not to have you problem solve for them. So hopefully that is a good, helpful tip today for fighting fairly.